Over the years, I've created a system for myself to manage my salary anytime I get paid. And things are now on like autopilot now. I don't have to think about this and that before I will manage my salary whenever it comes in. So that is why I decided to share my payday routine as a nurse working in the United Kingdom, so that you can also emulate this and use it the way it fits into your own plan. This is just a guide. It is not a rule that you must follow this. So, but it has helped me because I realized that creating a system into managing my finances really helps me in so many ways, especially to be consistent, because this has removed the thinking part for me. Whenever my salary comes in, I don't have to think about what is going to go into savings, what is going to go into investment, what is going to go into this, what is going to go into that. The system I've created, I just need to follow that system. And following that system makes the consistency easier. And in order to build any wealth or to build anything genuinely, you need that kind of system in place. So let me share my own payday routine for you anytime any payment comes in. So the first thing is, whenever a payment is coming in, a day to my payday, I'll usually receive my pay slip from my HR. So whenever I get that pay slip, I'm going to go through the pay slip. It is important to go through your pay slip. Why? Because on your pay slip, there is a lot of information there, like your tax code, your salary, and everything are there, and how much you are paid per hour and everything. Your pension, everything is on this pay slip. So going through this pay slip, you want to check if your tax code is right, if the salary is right. So that's the first thing I check. Why? I've seen so many experiences of people getting paid lesser than they earn. There was a month last year, December, that my wife received £600 lesser than what she should earn. Why? Because apparently they deducted her salary because she took a leave at one point, and they thought that leave was an unpaid leave. So these are some of the reasons that you need to check your pay slip. So it's important. So that's the first thing I do. Check my pay slip, see if everything is intact, and if nothing is out of the way, send a message to the payroll immediately, and they are going to amend that. Either they sort it out immediately or they sort it out with the next pay slip. So that's the first thing. The second thing I do, this is still on the day prior to the salary, I do a little mini budget. This is not like an extensive budget. I'm not a fancy of an extensive budget of this is the amount I used to buy biscuits, this is the amount I used to buy this, that. No, I just do a mini budget that will take everything into sectors. Like, this is what's going to go. I'll just list my rent, electricity, water bills, everything. I list them down. So when I list all of them down, then I already know what is coming in through the pay slip, right? I will have put all the income, and then all the expenditure, I list them. So when I list all the expenditure, then I know, okay, this is, what is this? So I will do all of these things prior to the payday. Now, I'll tell you one thing that has helped me along the way is that one thing that I've made everything like an autopilot now. Along the way, I've studied my expenses so well, and I've mastered my income so well as well, that I know I can predict what is coming into me, and at the same time, I know what is going out. I was able to achieve this by studying my bank account statement. So I studied my bank account statement for like 3 months. So that gives me the gauge to know everything going out and everything coming in. So knowing all of these things has now helped me along the way. Now that we know all of these things, the autopilot now starts. When the salary now drops, the first set of payment I remove from my salary is what is going into my regular bills, what's going to keep the roof on me. So I'll remove all the rents, electricity, council tax, all of those bills are going to be removed first. Remember, I said I've studied my income and expenditure. I know that even after I remove all my regular bills, I will still have something to invest. And along the journey, I've realized that all my regular bills and everything, they are amounting to something like 50 to 60% of the income coming in. And what is going into investment is about 20 to 25%, depending on the month or whether I have a capital project going on. Because most often you have some project going on either back in Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, for people that don't know. You have a capital project going on. So if nothing capital is going on, it's usually around that 25% going into investment. So when salary drops, the first step, take out regular bills. I know this is what's going to my regular bill. That's what's going to keep house on me, food, everything. That's the phase one. Phase two, investment. I have about 4 investments. I think I've added, about 4 investments. So my primary stocks and shares ISA. For those that don't know, stock and shares ISA in the UK is a tax efficient way of investing in the stock market if you are in the UK. And if you invest in that account, you can invest up to £20,000 in a tax year, and you are not going to pay any tax on your gain, on your dividend, or your interest. So my primary stocks and shares ISA, money will go there. The second stocks and shares ISA, which is the one for my wife, money will go there. The third account that money will go to is my crypto account. I try to invest as much as I can into my crypto, maybe like £100 or so will go there. Then I recently started investing in the Nigerian stock market. I took it seriously this year, and my plan with that account is to build it to 50 million in 5 years. I have decided to be investing a certain amount there, something like 500,000 naira in Nigeria. So I'll send that into that account. That's the investment pot. I have already built a savings account, which is serving as an emergency fund. So that is there. Then what's the next thing? The next payment will be sorting out the debt. I use credit card literally for everything I spend my money on over the months, like everything. Buy food, buy this, buy that. I use credit card for it all. My credit card has a very high limit. I have like £20,000, over £20,000 in limits with my credit card. And I guess I get MS Avios point if I use that credit card. In fact, that point has saved me a lot of money. When my mom came and she was going, we want to buy extra luggage, we used that Avios point, and it saved me $180. So I spend everything on credit card. So the next step is to pay off that credit card in full. I never pay minimum on my credit card. I always pay it in full, because your credit card utilization counts towards your credit score. Don't spend over 25% of your limits. That's why me having a high credit limit goes a long way in this journey. So I pay my credit card in full. That's the next thing. After payment of my credit card, then the next thing is, if there is any capital thing going on, set money aside for that. And after setting money aside for that, the next thing will be sending money home. So I have a budget of what I send home, because this is where most people make mistake. They don't budget for what they send home. They just send as it comes. If you do this, there's a high chance that you might not at the end of the day have any savings, because there is always something coming up. So for me, I have a budget I've set that this is the amount I want to send home. Only if there's an emergency or there's something that really needs my attention, that's when I'm going to increase that money. If there is no emergency and there's nothing that really requires me to spend money on it, I don't go beyond that budget. So try to set budget. This is one way I use to manage my own money. So this is non-negotiable for me. I'm a firstborn. I have 4 sisters and I have parents at home. So this is non-negotiable. It's something that must be done. People call it black tax. I don't, because I don't see it as anything. I just see it as part of my normal spending. So that's how I manage that. After I manage all of these things, there is usually, based on my expenses, there is usually something left for miscellaneous that we now can use for takeout food, go for dinner, do all of these things. So this is how I manage my own payday, and it's like a routine now. Now it's an autopilot. I don't even need to think about this. Every single paycheck, I don't have to sit down and write, oh, this is what's going to happen. This is no. it's now on autopilot. I know this is the amount that is going to investment. This is the amount that is going to regular bills. This is what's going to the family. This is what's going to this. This is what's going to that. So try to put this sort of system in place. It's really going to guide you along this way. If you are somebody who is just starting that doesn't have an emergency fund, divide the money that will be going into your investment into two. Let one be going into your emergency fund. Let another one be going into your investment. And if you are somebody that have built something as well, just create a sort of system around it to take the thinking part out of it. And guys, that's how I manage my payday as a nurse working in the UK. Thanks.